Ride 88.
Game boy, stop playing.
She say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Ain't finna play these back and forth games with you, cause I can feel your energy. What's up with you? Cause 1 minute you for me, you flip the script and we through. But she say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Ain't finna play these back and forth games with you, because I can feel your energy. Tell me what's up with you, cause 1 minute you for me, you flip the script and we through. She say, what should I do? Cause you making me feel like I'm unwanted. Girl, stand by me, stay down and keep it 100. Yeah. I'm in these with you, late nights in the studio. Don't pick my phone up, but don't you worry, cause I'm coming home to you as I leave these booths. Cause you're the only one who turned my upside frown into a smile. Got me thinking about you, cause I ain't seen you in a while. We been at it for so long, it'll be a shame to quit it now. Yeah, this money run, we settle down, I'ma give you a child. Trying to take you coast to coast, it ain't no stopping us. You popping it, I'm hot, no they can't rock with us. Whenever we get around each other, it feels just like a movie. Picture perfect, I'm in love with your beauty, yeah, yeah. We can get away, we can go and get lost. You can get whatever you want, it don't matter the cost. We can get away, pick a spot and we off. You don't need no phone where we going, you can leave it off. She say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Ain't finna play these back and forth games with you, cause I can feel your energy. What's up with you? Cause 1 minute you for me, you flip the script and we through. But she say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Ain't finna play these back and forth games with you, because I can feel your energy. Tell me what's up with you, cause 1 minute you for me, you flip the script and we through. She say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Cause I can feel your energy. What's up with you? But she say, can you handle my love, cause it's true. Ain't finna play these back and forth games with you, because I can feel your energy.
Yes, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. And we are here rocking out with my man, world famous is in the building.
Hey, world. Sing-a-lang. What's good?
My man, Hollywood Hen is in the building. And of course, we got special guest Aunt Pelle in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Can you hear me good? What's good?
Oh, yeah. Loud and clear, brother.
All right.
Clear and loud.
Loud and clear. The clouds are over our heads.
Yo.
Fella, hold on. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
Man, we are doing marvelous.
Shit.
It's a beautiful night. It's a nice chilly day today. It was, wasn't too cold.
That wasn't too chilly
Most
neither.
definitely.
It was comfortable. You know.
One thing about New York is what I've noticed is always a little bit warmer there than it is up here in Boston. So we get a little bit worse up here.
Most definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yo, so go ahead and introduce yourself. And
you gotta tell me where to start. You know I don't like to talk about myself.
Listen, just start.
All right, well, let's start at the very, very beginning real quick.
Yeah.
I went to Olinville Junior High School in the Bronx. From there, I transferred to Roosevelt, went there briefly. When I was in Roosevelt, I actually only played basketball for a very small part of the season. I was partially also on the volleyball team. So transitioning from volleyball to basketball, meeting a few people, taking me to Riverside, ended up transferring. Go to Stevenson, Adelaide East Stevenson in the Bronx. From there, I went to Villanova University, went there for 3 years, transferred to California State University at Fresno. In 1995, got drafted by the Denver Nuggets in the second round, I believe 42 or 44. I get the numbers wrong. and then had an extensive career between different leagues in America and different countries overseas for about 12 years.
Nice, nice. So
Good resume there. Hell of a
big time resume. That's right.
Thank
So
you.
so now we're not really here to talk about your basketball career.
No,
We-
we not.
No, we are here to talk about the new, and actually I don't know how long it's been because it's been amazing when I first saw a couple of paintings that you did, and this was I want to say about 4 years ago when I first saw
Yeah,
you
it's,
start.
it's about right.
So I said, "Wait a second, and you are a painter now?" He said, "Yo,
Excuse me, correct that. It's artist,
an
not
art.
painter.
Okay, see, an artist."
Yes.
So explain to me what made you start that, and
So
why?
to be,
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. No, you finish your question because I like to be clear, but I have to hear everything you say first.
So I want to know, when did you start that, and what made you really get into the art?
I've been doing all types of art, creating pictures with different types of paint, pencils, crayons, whatever, all my life.
Okay.
So as far back as I can remember, I've always done something artistic. And when I mean something artistic, I can remember times living out in Long Island, having, you know, how you can go in the store and buy those model car sets and put them together and then paint them yourself. I
Yeah.
would get those type of things, or my mom would get them for me. I would draw things out of the newspaper or try and model things from clay based on what I just saw in life. But that was just to kill time, or, sometimes just because I was a bad kid, you need something to do when you just sit in the room by yourself. so you, so you pick up a pencil, and paper.
Right.
And
Right.
then, I mean, I've always, even then, I would say that's my earliest memories of actual painting. Of course, we all had stuff in school, when they used to paint in school. And I think it just evolved as I got older. But I've always drawn something. I've always sketched something. The thing is, because I played basketball, I just couldn't do it consistently. My
Okay. Yeah.
focus was basketball, traveling, training, diet, family, a whole bunch of other stuff that comes along with it.
Oh wow.
Oh, sorry, the last part. But then the oil paint, like, because even then with acrylic, every now and then, because I would pick up things here and there and always paint with acrylic paints, because that excuse me, that dries faster. I would say I got into oil painting around, I would say 2009, and this is 2022. So I would say I just got into digital painting maybe 2 years ago, or digital art in general 2 years ago.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So digital art.
What is digital art?
Well, I'm gonna pull up. You explain it, and then I'm gonna pull up
Uh,
one.
uh,
Yeah, let me
Right.
explain.
a general term for digital art is any type of image of anything basically that's generated or altered digitally. So if I take a picture of you with my camera and I put it in Photoshop and I do something to it, that's now digital art, because I may have taken the pictures of you two sitting there right now, and I may have overlaid the suit and tie of the Rat Pack. So now he's Sammy Davis Jr. and you, the
Gotcha.
other dude. You see what I'm saying?
Steve
So
Martin.
now I
Oh,
just
all
created
right.
digital art. Or I just take a picture of you, stick it on a canvas, and paint with my own paintbrush over it. It's not digital art, but as soon as I take that picture and post it, it's digital art.
Gotcha. Thank you for the explanation. Thank you.
So we're gonna check this one out. This is a famous piece. A lot of people know about this. Explain what you did with this.
Okay, I do a lot of different things. So I work with a lot of different programs. This one is partially created in an AI generator program. So I took the album cover from Nas and I made my own minor changes in Photoshop. Then I went into the program, which is called the Deep Dream Generator. You put it in there, but the thing is, even though it generates the image for you, you have to enter all the parameters. So it gives you a set of numbers that you have to adjust yourself in terms of what you want, how much you want, how little, color. It's kind of simple, but if you don't get it right, then the picture won't come out right.
Gotcha.
Is that a name for that particular painting?
The actual program is called Deep Dream Generator.
Copy. I see. I see. I see it. I see it. I'm deep into that one.
Yeah, that is that's the cover for Nas.
Nas, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the album. I remember the album cover.
So tell us about this one.
The one that got
Okay.
away. That's what it
Well,
was.
well, see, for me, because this is, even though I didn't actually paint this one, I put in the parameters to make a painting. So even though it could have come out 1,000 different ways, I wanted it to come out this way. This was just a regular photograph, like how I was telling you. But it's really about making the adjustments to create the image that you want. And then from there, and I totally forgot, I have other programs that I put it in to alter the sharpness, brightness, hue, and saturation, things like that. So this is not even the original color the picture came out in.
Oh, okay.
Like, but in terms of my actual paintings and my stuff, after moving back here to Boston, I haven't done a lot of painting since I've been back. So I'm waiting to get back to that soon.
But all of this here we're showing is actually your digital art, correct?
Yeah, yes, all of that's digital.
Okay.
In some form, I have enough programs and apps and things to create anything I want. I'm actually working on animation and other things now.
Oh, okay. Go take us through this one.
I like flight and birds, and specifically falcons. So this is a falcon taking off, and with the program itself again. First, I take the image, I go into Photoshop, I make some minor adjustments myself. So I'm not doing much. I might just be making some wavy lines, changing a few colors, maybe blurring an area, making another area sharp, and then I load it up. After I load it in there, then I make more adjustments in the program. Then I give it time to finish creating it, and it does the rest.
Nice. Nice.
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy.
We know this. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I've been in the Jimmy for a while.
Okay. Okay. That's what's
So,
up.
yeah,
Right there.
this is actually a famous picture that everyone knows about actually, and you really put your touch on this because this is real nice. Now
Classic.
it's a classic, definitely. Is any of the art for sale? Of the digital art for sale, and how do you go about selling the digital art?
Think about getting.
No, how do you sell
Because
it? I mean,
as of now, I'm just building a library. So though I'm still posting and saying this is for T-shirts, this may be for books, I'm still getting together a website. I have, Pinterest and other programs or companies like Society 6, Teespring, ArtStation, also for selling digital prints. I'm also signed up with Etsy and Kindle. The thing is it's about dividing and conquering. I can't take that one image and put it on every platform. So for me, it's about saying, okay, I'm making these images for the books for Kindle. These specific images are for the T-shirt. So I'm making all the images, and then I have to kind of catalog the images. In all that catalog, and I'm now realizing it's better for me to have my own web page. So after I have my web page set up, then I can just have my own links and everything on the web page that either take you to the site, which I'm actually selling the few things. The Etsy store I actually just closed today because I have to re-upload the coloring book images that I was telling you about for the mandala hearts.
right.
The other images I'm doing for the Kindle book, I'm working on sketchbook, just basically, I forgot what it's called, low content or no content books. So I'm working on journals, sketchbooks, basically books with covers and lines or blank pages on the inside. So I'm working all types of niches for that, so to speak. So different covers for different things. I'm even working on a basketball type of book that we use, in the court when you got to write out your plays and things like that.
Yeah.
So all of those images, they're for different things in terms of when everyone will just have total access, go to the website. That will hopefully be up in the next month or so. Like literally, that's what I do every day. Like I said, I go to my job, but then I still work on my days off.
Right. Got you.
Work will never stop. Works never
Yeah.
stop.
Work never stops.
Oh.
You're right.
Never.
Talk about this. What made you deal with this one?
So in the designs I make, and I know a little bit about color theory and some color balance and things like that. I'm taking specific images that I'm either wanting to put on T-shirts or that I think or believe people would like in their homes on a wall. So I'm also looking for images that people aren't using every day. People like to find the same images over and over, and they just maybe change it to black and white, or they overlay it with the crown. I'm trying to do something entirely different. I'm going to find a different image and then tweak it in a way and figure out other tricks. So even though I may have said the one thing I'm doing, I have enough apps where if somebody stole this, I can still take this right now and give me 30 minutes, and I can give you at least 50 more different versions of the same picture.
Oh wow. Wow, that's deep.
Heavy.
So, and at this time, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go over to Brittany from So with Brittany's comment of the week.
Brittany, what up?
Hello, good evening.
Wrong sound.
That's
Wrong sound. You gonna play the trumpet? Yeah, change that. But I'm coming to you all to drop some knowledge today.
Knowledge is best.
Yeah, here
when
we
it
go.
comes from you.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Knock it off. So I'm leaving you with a quote for the week, and trust me, guys, it's something that's gonna feed your soul. So here we go. Train your mind to think on what you are rather than what you are not. I'm gonna say it one more time.
Say it.
Train your mind to think on what you are rather than what you are not. So I'm saying this because the mind is so powerful, okay? So what thoughts we come up with actually turn into our actions. So if you continue to fill your mind with what you're not, because it's easier to just bring up the things that are not well about you, or the things that you don't like, your reality will start to match those things. You don't believe me? Try it out, okay? So fill your mind with what you are. That's the positive. That's the growth you want to see. That's the financial flow you want to see. Fill your mind with those things and watch your actions follow through. So that's a quote from Seth.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm getting better at this.
I got to say something on that topic. I kind of apply that to my life already.
Nice.
Okay. That's good.
But that's why I stand aside, because people look at me like I'm funny, like, oh, so not to be, oh, you super nigga. I say, fucking right, I'm super nigga if I say I am. It's just not even about, she says, not like a level of arrogance, but I mentally put myself in a place of strength and power. And it's, for me, it's 100% irrelevant who doesn't believe it. So if I walk in there, and I don't care what happened throughout my day, but if this second I walk in there and they say, Anthony, how was your day? And for that second, I said, you know what? My day was effing awesome. And everybody else resonates with that. I've now created a reality for myself just off a simple tone of myself and a certain level of energy I'm putting into the words. So I'm literally not creating a reality just for myself, but in the world outside of me, which can then reflect it back to me and feed me the energy that I need to do whatever I got to do in there.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, are you hanging out, or are you going?
I'm hanging out. It's the gentleman's club after this.
Oh, I thought you were leaving.
Oh, okay. You hanging up. Oh, you mean you hanging up.
Oh, I said
you
I'm
ain't hanging out.
No, I'm hanging up.
Right.
Oh,
I got it.
All right, later.
BB.
That was Brittany, y'all, from So.
So words from
Strength
so.
of women. Strength of women.
Thank
And
you.
like she
Thank
says
you.
all the time, men, don't be afraid because she can help you too.
Words of the day. Things to
So
live by.
so we're gonna get back to this art now. And
For sure.
I wanted to ask you, do you have any Indian in your family?
Yes.
Because I see there was a couple of Indian pictures that you've done that are real
It's
strong. Like this
it's
one I
funny
picked out.
it's funny you say that because ironically, my father's side of the family, it's like all over. Because on my father's side of the family, being from Antigua, West Indian, that's just our features in general.
Right.
My mother's side of the family, based on my knowledge, I've never heard one single story about slavery, our family being from slaves or anywhere like that. But as you look at the family history of the pictures and you seeing where we're coming from, yeah, we may have been in a specific area, but we look Indian. We look like dark skinned Indians, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm not. I may see people dressed a certain way, but I'm not hearing slave stories. Like
Right.
so, to my knowledge, based on just my mother and father alone, just going that far back and what I've learned from them, yeah, it's nothing but Indian. Especially my grandmother's house from the island, 'cause they right there on the thing in the living room. Like that was known that yeah, yeah, great whoever was India. That was known.
Do you know exactly what tribe?
I can't remember at the moment. It was a while ago.
Okay. One picture on here I'm gonna hold to the end because it's a historical picture. But tell us about
Oh,
what you thought about Prince, man.
well, I love music and I love all types and all genres, and Prince came with something different. And
Definitely.
then me in general, just going back to color, vibration, and theory, he knew what he was doing with the purple and gold. Those are royal colors. Those are high vibrational colors. Those are, and when I say royal, I don't mean royal as in earthly. I mean those are royal as in the cosmos. Like when certain stars or energies or elements out there in what we call space have those colors, it's a type of gas, it's a type of energy that can sustain and empower. So him even just bringing that back to this plane, he did something with that. He took that and made it into a persona, and I wanted to find a way because everybody, and I'm not judging at all, but I'm just not the person that when somebody passes, immediately do a picture and post it of that person that just passed.
Right,
I
right,
wanted, like I said, I want to research a good picture and find something with a type of energy and statement, and then either paint it, do it digitally, or whatever I can do, and then present it like that. Because for me, it's still a form of art that I want people to enjoy, whether I paint it with my hands or I technically or technologically know the parameters to set it up how I need to set it up digitally
right,
and still present you with something beautiful.
right. Let me hit y'all with this one. Now,
That
did
is an
you?
oil painting.
Okay,
I still put it through the program. This was like one of the early tests of me using the AI generated program.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't change it too much, but I wanted to see what it would do. So it came out nice. So I just posted. But the painting itself, I still have. But that's the thing. Like I said, I'm waiting to like this is my son's room. Like we're remodeling and painting and stuff. But when everything gets situated and I get my paintings out of storage, I'm definitely getting back into painting. I want to post some more videos of me actually doing the art, and doing other things and then have them for sale. Like I said, I want to have everything ready, man. And that's kind of the goal, working on my own by myself, doing what I can to get things in order.
Gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
Definitely support that. Definitely
Yeah, we
support that.
definitely do. And now this is the historical picture of of all time.
you know, that's family. And when I say that, not only did we grow up with it, but just even as a growing up, my pops used to always sing certain Bob Marley songs to me, so I'm gonna always do a Bob Marley picture somewhere.
Hmm.
And this joint here looks like it's actually, even though it's digital, it looks like he's still alive.
Yeah, because he like that spliff.
And not because of the
And,
not because of the spliff.
But that-
well, well for me that's the goal, to try and inject some type of life or energy into my art, regardless of how I create it.
Got you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are the ones that we actually picked out today that we said we was going to talk to you about and stuff. Because like me and you, we knew each other for years, but when I first saw that you started doing your painting, I tried to get you to do an interview about 4 or 5 years ago. You said, no,
And
wait, Coop, hold on, Coop, wait a second. Listen, let me get some stuff going first, okay? Let me get a couple of things going.
it's funny. I remember that, and since then, I've actually only been evolving. So it's hard to even explain because I've been back and forth to New York twice, but I'm not leaving my son now.
Right,
So it's a situation where, okay, it's about, like I said, putting things back in a type of order. You know what I mean? So for me, the art is always going to get done. I'm I want nothing else than to give my art to people. Of course, not for free,
right,
but at the same time, I'm not creating this for me just to keep on the shelf and to have files. I'm creating this to sell and to give out, to put it wherever I can, as many places as I can for as many people that want it. That's the goal.
right, right. I'm trying to actually. I'm looking into doing like a pop up shop, but not the normal type of pop up shop. I wanted to do something with a lot of people that's into the art because we don't really have a lot of that out there. A lot of people do art, but they don't have places to put their art and display their art. So I wanted to do a like a pop up shop
Show.
show,
Right.
right?
Pop up shop show.
So
That
um,
sounds like a plan.
yeah, so I that's why I'm about to ask you if we really officially get that going. Want to do it when it gets a little nicer out
Oh,
because
of
the
course.
location will be on City Island at this place that I have a friend of mine that has his show 950 Lounge over there, and we can get the space for a good price to do a pop up shop. So I
Okay.
want to do like a art, basically an art gallery show, with some people with their other businesses
That's what I was
also.
like. Art exhibit.
Exhibit, right?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me, man. And I know we both know a lot of people in the city, so just like I always say, just let me know ahead of time. Let's coordinate. Because like I said, and I don't mean this to be funny, but I'm really always busy.
Right,
So once I'm coordinated with you, like it's not for me, it's not enough to just say it and then we just walk away. No, let's talk and get dates and get back and forth and make sure we do this because
right.
I'll keep I'll keep going off in the direction doing what I'm doing and honestly forget. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah. You
You
ain't
know,
forgot nothing.
Hen, you got something?
Yeah, I wanted to, let him finish. Having your questions being answered too. I wanted to find out what's usually what has been your inspiration with actually creating the art, the digital, the traditional, those three areas. Who are your like inspirations? Like, do you follow different artists that are current? Or are you seeing different things on your way to work, on your way back home from work? And then when you sit down in front of your canvas or your laptop, what is inspiring you to make these images come to life?
That is an awesome question. I'm going to start with the canvases first. I actually thought about that today because I miss painting. There are moments when I can have a canvas and do it at times. I'd have blank canvases on the wall, or I'll just sit it on the easel. I may stare at it for hours or days before I put anything on it, but I already have an idea where I want to start. Sometimes I may start with the music and the vibe that I'm getting from other things I've done in the day. So I say, okay, even just based on the size, what vibe or energy am I getting off of this canvas? What wants to be on the canvas? So my inspiration a lot of times isn't me saying I want to paint this. Unless I get a feeling, a vibration, or something comes in, I normally don't say that. I mean, and the only thing I would say that's really different with that is maybe with women, black women, melanated women. My mother, my family, I was raised by women. My children's mothers are melanated women. So I'm into aesthetics also. So I'm looking for a type of form. I'm looking for tones. I'm looking for colors. I'm looking for lighting. So I can just be looking at someone in the street, in the store, a picture, whatever it may be, and something may catch my eye, my imagination. And depending on where I am, it's different if I'm out there in the street. Then I try to remember something, and then when I get home, see if I can look up something to remember that, or try and pull out the pad if I can. If I'm actually online, I have a Pinterest account. I go through not a lot lately, but I go through Pinterest all the time, and I have sections. So I have my own art section where my art is posted, and then I have sections where I have my actual studies. So in it, you will see under my Pinterest and Pelle art, you will see female portrait, you will see abstract art, you will see Commission art, you will see Mayan, Hindu, and some other type of art. Like I have all of these topics in there, so when I want certain things, I go to that. And that's also part of the digital process. When I'm working with Photoshop, Procreate, any of those other programs where I'm definitely going to alter the shape, color, tone of an image, where I'm going to alter the background, maybe warp the foreground. In a lot of those apps and with some other programs I have, they're stock images. So you have access to certain files and fonts that help you. So sometimes just going through the stock images will give you inspiration. So I wanted to do like the meditating alien, I wanted to do in 3D. I'm not really looking up anything real. I'm actually looking at cartoons, clips of cartoon aliens. So I based that alien off of what's the dude from the Flintstones with the head?
Yeah,
Right?
Zoo.
Martin?
No,
No,
the
Gazoo.
wild, the
Yeah,
Gazoo, the Great Gazoo.
yeah. So I was thinking of that when I made the head. So it's something small, but if that's not so much I'm looking for an inspiration, it's a vibe I'm getting. Okay, everybody's in the meditation, they're talking about this, that, and the other, with the other groups and the people I'm talking to, the groups on Facebook, the groups on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be. Like I said, it's a thing that I'm putting out there. When I say for you, I mean for everyone. I'm from New York, but I've traveled the world and I'm involved in a lot of things. So with the knowledge I have, I want to put my hand in the things that I can with what I'm good at. So if I'm good at this thing and this thing interests me, more than likely I'll be good at making that thing, presenting it, and talking about it just because I have a passion or desire for it. So that within itself will present me with an opportunity because I'm doing something that I like and because I enjoy it. It's not really using my time and my energy in a way. So that way I can use my time and energy from that thing to generate the income that I'm looking for.
That's dope.
Got you. Got you.
I mean, because it's there. I mean, it's there. So keep being inspired. Because I looked through her page today, and I was seeing that you have a lot of variety. Which you have like the art. You have the history. You have the astrology. You have a very versatile gallery of things that, as a fan of art and just watching different things, those type of things stand out to a lot of people when they come in because visually we identify art as it means different to us. You might have created it as the artist, but the person actually getting it, they see it different from what you created. So it's a more of a universal observation on what's actually put out there. So what's pretty dope about it is that we might look at the same image and have totally two different opinions about it, which is dope. So that's my little homage to it. So,
And in a way, I kind of do that, and I don't care. Well, let's start with the paintings. So, especially the oil paintings, I paint specifically in a way to make my paintings do tricks. So I paint in very thin layers, like the old traditional style. But then I also use a lot of golds, coppers, silvers, and bronzes to create types of reflections. So instead of painting straight up on the canvas sometime, and let's say I just want to paint the right side of the image, I'll turn the canvas sideways, look for particular lines on the picture, and only paint those lines because you can only really see those lines if you turn the canvas sideways. So then
Oh
when you
wow.
turn the so then when you turn the canvas back, you don't really see them. So now you've created an effect where depending on where you're standing and depending on where the light is, you're going to see different things on the canvas because now I've used a reflective type of paint at an angle with a certain level of thickness because as soon as you switch that angle, guess what? Another reflection is going to come in from the other side of the canvas. As soon as you move the light again up high, now another type of reflection is going to come in from another side of the canvas. All because I use metallic gold, Renaissance gold, King's gold, bronze, copper, and pewter, silver, all of these things mixed in with the blacks and the browns, especially if I'm doing melanated people, and I starting with the base color, always a copper or gold. And I put the different layers of the browns, the tans, the yellows over it. And depending on the direction of the person, it might be a blue or a green, it might be a red or an orange, and then build up darker or lighter over that. It, like I said, it depends because I base how I create my art off of what I see. All of us, you're not just you, you're layered. I don't know all of you. I don't know all of your life. I don't know everything you've been through. There are layers to your consciousness. There's layers to your thinking. There are layers to your life, your family, and everything. I put that in a painting. I paint the layers of that woman that I've named layers of a woman. There are layers too, not just of the hair and the skin and the reflection and the tone, but then also the earrings become a layer, the lipstick becomes a layer. All that energy that you're projecting outward becomes a layer. So even my aura is a layer. Even the light that I'm projecting from inside becomes a layer. Just because you don't see it or feel it doesn't mean it's not a part of me.
right.
Right. And that, it's so funny that you say that because painting pictures and stuff of that nature, it's all different from everybody's eye. You understand what I'm saying?
For
And it's
sure.
amazing, like how you just described it. It's like when you said turn the canvas sideways and then start painting. I'm like, what? Sideways? I know. You know what I'm saying? And when people, the artists, they have their magical ways of making things happen and come to fruition the way they do their art. You know what I'm saying? You might have your canvas upside down and
It's funny
and
it's
start
not
from
to
the
cut.
bottom to go to the top or however. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I actually do that. So depending on the size of the canvas, especially if I have a smaller one,
yeah.
I very rarely use a canvas. If it's a rectangle, and I don't have one in here now, but if it's a rectangle, normally there's a bar across the middle. I hold my hand in the back of the canvas on that bar and I paint with it like this. And I can rotate that canvas any way I want to, paint it sideways, upside down, do
Right.
anything. When you don't, and these are things I learned because I've had a studio and I've been painting in small rooms. So there are things you have to learn with the space that you have. So even if I'm just allowed a chair and the canvas in my hand, I can still paint you a beautiful picture. I can literally hold that canvas in my hand, rotate it any way that's necessary, hold it back as far as I need to, because it's a blessing having these long arms. So I could, do what I need to do. and then twist and turn to get the image that I want and then be done with it without having and just literally put the materials on my lap once I have it on the board or the glass. I normally use glass to put my oil paint on, and I can take it off and do what I need. What else do you need? That's it.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if everybody, whoever doesn't know Aunt Pell is actually 7 foot. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, this man is magic. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right.
is this the actual the actual
Oh,
picture you was
yeah,
talking about?
I have better versions of it, but yeah, that's one of them. Actually, and I opened it today because I started the lower part of the knee down to the foot, so I did start to work on it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yo, amazing, amazing, amazing.
That's it.
And like I said, I was trying to get Ant on the show about 5 years now. So I'm so happy that he got a lot of art. Yo, everybody need to go to his page, go to his Instagram. It is Ant Pell, ANTPELL _ go to the page and like his work and is a lot of stuff is going to be for sale. Well, if it ain't for sale right now, it's for sale.
Literally, very soon, and that's kind of what I mean every day because I've been working on the iPad a lot. So in order for me, literally what I posted today, to compress the file smaller to put it back on Etsy, I had to because the iPad or something maybe I didn't know wasn't compressing it small enough. So by transferring the file to Dropbox and then going to my laptop, drawing it from Dropbox and then compressing it there and then putting it back on the store. Some of the images that I have in the Redbubble store. So I was having an issue because I have so many apps and they can make such clear images. But the thing is, if the images aren't a certain size, they're not going to be of a certain quality on the clothes. So I've been taking time to resize all of my images that are going on clothes so then when I'm ready, I can put them back on the clothes at the right size. So,
Okay,
and
nice.
that takes time because like I said, me thinking I was ready, then I'm realizing, oh, I need to resize everything.
Right,
So
right. And
it
trust
takes
me,
time.
he has a lot to resize. Trust me, because you got a
I
lot of
mean,
art. Explain this one,
man.
the biting lip, the biting lip.
So I know a guy that's a DJ and that's part of his logo.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I've done a couple of logos for people, and so me and him are cool. He's hooked me up with a couple of things. So I told him it's nothing for me to do a little 3D logo. And once I made the lips, putting it through the other programs to get the other effects was easy. I mean, it takes time, but because I know what I'm doing, it's easy. I mean, I did have to learn it. I'm not, it don't just come to me.
Right, right. I
I mean, I
hear
am a
you.
I am a fast learner. Don't get me wrong. And I learn by watching. You talk to me sometimes, I'll tune you out, but you start just doing it, and I can look at you. I'm gonna pick up everything.
Right.
Interesting. I mean, that's. Hey, listen, and I wish you the best. I mean, you're absolutely very talented. Your
Thank you
your
very
artwork,
much. Thank
your
you.
artwork precedes you, and I can't wait till we have this showing of your work. And like I'm telling
I
people
want
now, get this while you can, cause when he blow up, don't think you're gonna get that easy ride now. Right now,
And that's
check him
I
out.
want to talk to Kubi about what he was saying because I was thinking about your same thing, something where we can get together and put the art up for people to make it, create it, and sell it. You have a skill, you have a talent,
Hmm.
especially the youth nowadays, like the kids in our community, man. They got skill, but there's no place for them to
To
showcase that.
showcase this stuff, right?
So
Right.
and for me personally, so even if you got that skill on the court, sometimes you may not want to go hang with your friends after. You may want to go to another place where you could chill out and take it easy. So you can go run you a few games and, get your money, whatever, but then you don't want to go hang out and do whatever. Go in there, see if you can create something and make you some money. If you can go in there, like I tell people, if you can make anything with your hands, that's your own energy. You don't have to work for nobody and you don't have to take nothing from nobody. You can literally generate your own and make your own money. Why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
True. That's true.
Factamundo.
So now, actually, Ant, you've been painting for what, 5 years? Official?
Officially oil painting since 2009.
Okay. Now, I know you've been all over the world. You have seen lots of things. Have you ever taken pictures from way back then and starting to paint those things? Or did you miss out because you didn't take pictures?
I will say I took pictures the last 2 lifetimes, but like I said, I had an adventurous life, and let's just say a lot of those pictures got lost over time.
Bad
I
ant,
mean,
bad ant, bad.
well, in a way, but I have the memories and the stories, man. I tell the stories that light people up just as well, so I don't mind that either.
Right, right.
Especially lately, and that's kind of funny because I've been telling more of these stories lately, and just seeing the look. And I tell people, look, I don't. People ask me the same mundane basketball stuff. I don't want to talk. You ask me something different. I tell you everything you want to know.
Right, right.
Okay, yeah. Dig that.
See, a lot of people didn't know that Ant was into art. Well, like me, for example, like I said, 5 years ago, he was posting oil paints on his Facebook page, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta get you on the show." We started talking. He was like, "Nah, not yet, not yet. I got more stuff I got to get together. I gotta get my stuff right. Let me get my stuff going, and then once I get my stuff going, then I got you, Coop. Don't worry about it."
Right.
So now I started seeing more stuff. I'm like, "Oh no, he ain't gonna slide by on this time. Nope. There's too many pictures on there. You ain't slipping, sliding. No, no, brother."
Don't slip and slide.
And it's funny because I have so much that I still haven't posted. Like literally, when I scroll through just the photos I have saved, I still have at least 10 more GIFs I haven't posted. I have at least 20 more mandala hearts on the black background. And then I have other mandala hearts, like not for the coloring book, but that I've created with my digital like me creating it by hand and then putting it in the program and then putting it in another program and then taking it and doing some more by hand and then putting it in another program to get what you see.
It's
But that's
amazing,
the thing.
though. It's nice.
But that's what I mean. That's what I enjoy because for me, I love the different art, the creative art, the vibrant art, the ones that give you that invokes something in you. Whatever it is, if it's invoking something, it's doing its job.
Right, right.
So whether it be happiness, tears, love, hate, whatever, art is meant to do something to invoke, represent, or present something. Even if that something is nothing, how do you present nothing on a canvas?
Right.
You can do it with
Right.
you can do it with a blank canvas or just showing a bunch of things that are empty. There's 1,000 different ways to represent emptiness.
Right.
But then how do you take that and say, you know what, how do I represent that in speech now all the time? So how can I explain that to you when you ask me? This isn't about me just saying nothing special. Nah, we all know what emptiness is. Not to do first thing out of my head, like, no, that shit is empty. Ain't nothing in there.
Right.
So taking that same type of concept and putting it on something as complicated as what I'm painting, but still having the simplicity to explain it to an 8-year-old.
Right. What's your biggest canvas that you've done art on? Is it canvas is all walls, anything. What's the biggest
okay.
thing?
So the biggest canvas I've actually worked on was a wall in my old apartment in Cyprus. Like an entire wall. Like
Oh
I did
wow.
an act. I did an Egyptian scene, and this was back in the day before I knew about projectors and everything. I just had a picture in my hand, and I stood back and I sketched it with a pencil on the wall and started to
Oh
fill it in little by little.
wow.
Wow.
Nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Hen, you got something?
No, no, we like I said, man, that's dope. Keep being inspired, man. I know you went into detail with a lot of the stuff that you did, um, and how you run the programs and how you create these beautiful pieces. And I know you had a long day at work. You may be tired and stuff like that. So we
Oh
ain't trying to
no,
take up too much of your time. You know what I'm saying?
oh
But
no. Honestly, I have. I'm not even gonna lie. I have time today. That's why I say anything you guys want to ask me. I'm actually off today and go back to work tomorrow. You know.
okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask. We're doing these questions with our guests. We did it last week. So,
Oh, that's right.
cool. We're gonna ask you a question, and this question is just one of our
But this
fun things that
question
we're
is not
doing.
just for you.
It's for
It's
all of
for
us
all
actually. It's
everybody.
for all
Get
of us. So
get the
we're
music, man. Let's go to another segment. Put the music. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay,
oh
we're
well,
going on to the next segment.
thank you for waking
When
up.
you start another segment, we gotta bring it in the right way. That's what we gotta do, Ant.
Okay.
Okay, so
What did I just set myself up for?
no, no, you didn't set yourself up. This segment of the show is citizen and immigrant. Okay, this is
Okay.
actually questions on the test that people want to be citizens. This is what the questions are, and we're just trying to find out if everybody knows the answers. Because listen, my aunt put me to the test. I packed my bags. I was on the boat, the plane, whatever, going back to the motherland because I ain't know
Okay.
nothing,
And you've been here a long time.
and I've been here a long time.
They don't know it.
And that's
Damn.
crazy.
That's-
So I have,
Okay,
so wait, wait. Before we go, I have to say now, I'm entitled to get some of this wrong because for the first 8 to 10 years of my life, I was going back and forth to Antigua. So
okay, yeah, so yeah, you good. Yeah, you safe
okay, he
by
get a
saying
pass.
that,
He
right?
get a
We stamp you to come on back, and you all right.
pass.
So
And
before he was
the questions do make you think. Like I mean, for most of us, if we were born here, we don't realize or we've taken at least we've taken it for granted. And we see people who are not from here have to take these exams. I mean, he asked me questions last week, and I was stumped. So the questions are definitely interesting to know.
is it like a multiple choice, or you have to like write out your answer? The
Yeah,
reason why I'm asking because if I
yeah, it's a
walk,
multiple choice.
okay, so if I go into a place and they give me certain type of answers and I just don't think none of them apply, I'm just going to make something up. Like,
Right,
I mean, not to be funny, what else can I do? I'm gonna get it wrong anyway, so I might as well just put
right. Well, that's
what.
true too. Well, these questions, I think he said it was, I think, either 100 questions or, and you pretty much are given
Yo, I can't.
multiple choice. Obviously, the most accurate actually is will get you that point for that exam to get your citizenship. So this is
Right.
basically what they do. What the examinations they are giving people for to become U.S. citizens. I know there's a phase to it and a process, but these are the actual exams that people are paying, $1,000, I think, just to be able to get this exam. So you got to think about it. If we're getting it wrong and we're from here,
Can
imagine the
you?
people who,
Yeah, you can imagine what they doing, what the stress they going through, and
yeah,
we've
and
been
they're
here a
doing it,
long time.
and they're doing it at $1,000
But
clip.
hold up. See, I'm gonna advocate for everybody right now.
Uh huh. We
Those
listening.
none of those people should take that test, and we have an excuse for not knowing that. Am I allowed to curse on this show?
Yeah, of
You
course.
speak your
Yeah.
mind. Say, yeah,
We
this
got
ain't just
we.
PG. We speak our
I'm thinking
mind.
this kid. I'm thinking this kid's on here. I'm just trying to be respectful.
No, no. I mean,
Uh,
ears is for everybody. We ear to the
Well,
public, the whole
well, and
public.
good because now that we speaking about schooling, because I think about my son and his school all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been teaching us shit or the truth for years.
Right.
of course.
So for
That's a
you
fact. That's a fact.
for anyone and I'm like I said, I study a lot. There are differences, there are causes and effects with levels of melanin.
Right.
We're not like the brother said. We're not talking about a level of superiority. We're talking about responsibility. So with knowing the levels of melanin we have and what we're able to do and what we're capable of, I don't care if it's learning, sun gazing. I don't know. There's a difference, man. Like I said, I don't want to get into it. We set ourselves apart with the things we do. Like I said, but there's a reason why we have to do it. So that's why I put the art in a certain way. That's why I say I learned the ball in a type of way. Because I remember when I couldn't play and I sucked, and I actually loved telling that story because it was a journey to learn. And I met a lot of people that taught me stuff. But then to take that understanding, that journey, to say I'm going to apply that to another area of life and just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's a melanin transformation thing. That's why I say it's a lot, man. I'm learning every day, and I learned something about our genetics in terms of black and white, something else new I never learned before, and I'm like, oh, so that's why naturally we're like this, or this. I don't even like the word race anymore. That these humans over here are like this and we're like this, but I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on what I can do with what I have and my energy and my power, and how I can use that to benefit me, my family, my community, and everything else.
Right.
For me, that's the goal. And if anyone anywhere else, we can work together doing the thing we do in terms of communion, community, and just uniting to get shit done, well, hell yeah.
Right. And I mean, that's what for most cases, why we are here on this platform, to give people the opportunity to come on here and give their thoughts and views about what they feel is going on in their community. I did it a couple of times on my show, but the reason we found this to be an intellectual like challenge for us is just because we're trying to see like what are they really administering to people who have no choice. People come here because they're looking for a better way,
Well,
and unfortunately, this is the stuff that this is the stuff, like, this is nothing that we created. This is stuff that is literally information that this is what they're giving these people.
and that's why I
So
say
I
if
can
you
imagine
have,
my mom or our moms taking the exam today.
and that's the thing, if you have a level of understanding and they're teaching you lies, and what are you really trying to remember to live here?
Basically,
Right.
You know what I
so
mean? Go ahead.
basically, no, I'm just saying. Basically, like shit.
You
I
know,
was getting ready to say
yeah.
throw these damn questions out the window. I mean,
and that's why I said in the beginning, you just put down what you want, because you want to be rational and logical and reasonable. But
hmm
like I said, as an American, if you call yourself that, whatever you want to call yourself, going through that system, the good majority of us know there's a lot of lies in the school system.
Yeah, of
So
course.
so for us to be bothered by getting a test wrong that we know not only was not geared for us
us.
It's
or
culturally biased.
yeah, or it's not geared for us as black people, not geared for us in America, period. It's actually geared to intentionally trip them up.
Right.
So no, I'm not expecting to get nothing right on that paper.
Listen, you'll be
Well,
surprised. You'll be surprised what you do get right. I mean, we always do like three questions.
well, here
But
go
wait
one
for
of
cool.
them. Here go one of them. This one I'm looking at.
Yeah,
No, here go this one right here. It asks us. I know I would get this wrong if I didn't even look at this. Who did the United States fight in World War II? Now, I wouldn't. I don't even know. I don't even know in World War II. Who did we
It
fight,
wasn't.
fellas? Who
It
did we
wasn't. It
fight?
wasn't. It wasn't. Korea was one. I think, was it Korea or Germany? One of them two. I'm not too sure.
Well, okay,
It
you
was
got one out
all
of
right,
others
all
that
right,
was
how
in
about
that war.
this? What are my options? Let's start with
right. I should have said that first.
They just tell you there was. I can tell you right now there was three people, and one of them you just said here was Germany. So you got
well,
two others
see,
to list.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a time traveler, so I get years confused. So
Don't
I'm gonna
ask me,
say,
and what was World War II
yeah,
in?
See,
They
that's the
don't
thing.
even list
I
that.
know. I get the countries wrong in the wars. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking off the top of my head, Germany,
British, right?
Germany,
British.
Japan. When I say Japan, that's why I say I get confused. I just know they were
We now
involved in the
now
whole
now as
bomb.
we move forward, we got two. Let's go for the. I'm saying that's
Yeah,
Japan and that's Germany.
yeah.
We got
There's a,
one more. Then
I
then we all right. It takes three of us to pass this test. One more.
I don't want to say the British. I don't want to say that. Um,
Give me a second. I know this. I just don't
it
remember.
wasn't Russia. It wasn't Russia. Was it Russia? No, it couldn't
Nah.
be Russia. Uh,
You know what?
Japan, Germany.
You know what? I gotta let me look at
What?
this map on the wall.
It's that. Well, listen. It says Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Italy.
And that's so funny. I was literally going
I would,
around.
yeah.
I wasn't
I would,
sure.
I,
I was like,
And that's
I know it
that's something
wasn't
new to me.
France.
Yeah,
I
that's
would,
something
I would
new
not
to
got
me.
that. I would not got that. What's the next one, bud?
Uh, it stayed on the wall, and it said before he was president, right? Who whosoever was the general in what war in World War II? Who was the general in World War II?
Wasn't there a bunch of generals?
But and he was set forth to be the president.
Before
He was
he
set
was
forth to be the
president,
president before he was president. Who was the general in
mm-hmm.
World War II?
All
Right.
right, give me my options. I could tell you right now.
Well, that's why that's why I don't read these. I
But
just
you said
read.
multiple choice. I got to
No,
know
they
my
didn't have no,
choices.
and not on this particular question. They just want you to name the
Oh,
president. Who was
oh,
it?
so I
Yeah, you
got to
got to
randomly
remember that
pull a
president.
president
Who
out
was
my
it?
a word.
Now we
Why is that?
have now who was it at the time? It
See,
was
this is why I don't deal with people because I would stand up in the class and say, "Why I got to know this to go live down the block and open up a store to feed my kids?"
correct, but these are the
Right.
questions, right? And I'm thinking that like, yo, why do people who wants to become citizens need to know all of these? This is for what? What is it doing for them? You know what I
How
mean?
about this? How those people walk into any Fortune 500 company right now and ask any random person those same questions, see how many they get right?
Right. I I'm gonna answer this one. They said it was Eisenhower.
I would
Now
not know
Eisenhower was
that.
the president back then at that particular time. Then he knew what he was doing. I don't
I
know.
would
That's
I
what
would
they
have got
say.
that
They
wrong.
say food for thought, and I'm just saying, and that's what they say, food for thought. Okay, cool. You want to read the last one?
Which one did you pick for the last one?
That one right there, right here. You see it?
What did? Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one for you, Kobe.
it's a good one. Yeah.
Say it. Sing a song. Shit.
What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Yeah, yeah. You from Albania. You from a different country, and you want to be a citizen. You got to know what did Martin Luther King Jr. do? What you got, Ant? Give me an answer for that.
A lot.
It'll be yeah.
That's the
We'll be here all night talking about that.
That's
right.
real because, like I said, we in 2022. Like I said, you don't want me to be technical because, like I said, if I'm really fighting to get in this country and I know this answer, well, I'm gonna be like, well, here we stand in 2022. The results of me watching the time period, I'm gonna break it down because this happened in this time period. People wasn't listening here. The man got killed. This, and these are the results today. If I could summarize that in 2 paragraphs, then we'd be good.
Right.
Oh, and not to mention, I have to talk about the marketing, the advertising, the monetizing. You got to wrap all of that up in him because as he was trying to do something, he stood for what he stood for, but he meant something to many different people, and they all
Right.
took a piece of, and they all took a piece of that. So that's what he did. He gave people energy, and they took it and used it for their nefarious and good reasons.
Right. Fought for civil rights and worked for equality for all Americans. That's what he
Word?
did. Yes, that's what they put down as an answer.
Mm.
Okay.
So
What? Like Ann said, a lot, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Nah,
You need to
yeah.
redo that test. Oh, I got a question. Shoot that.
What's the question that you gotta ask?
It ain't what we did. What you'll do for us.
Oh,
You know
well,
what I'm saying?
well,
Well, that's what Janet Jackson said on her song. What have you done for me lately?
right.
And,
That's
and
the song.
but ain't nobody answered yet.
Nothing. I gave you the answer.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. I tell you.
And that's why I work so hard, because ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you unless you're doing it yourself.
Exact. That's it.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. I agree.
So, Aunt, let everybody know where they can find you at and where they can purchase your art, or when they can purchase your art.
As soon as, like, my thing is, because I'm working, as soon as I have any one of those sites up and running, like, and you can go to my Pinterest account on at Ant Pell Art and see everything there. You can go to my Instagram account at antpell_art, my Twitter account at Anthony D. Pell. Those main accounts have all my pictures, advertisements, and my TikTok account where I'm now posting videos. So except for this week, on my off weeks, I try to do a little tutorial video or string some type of music video together with my art, and I post that. So I'm just really, I'm in the mode of just literally putting tentacles and feelers out there and energy, and then when I'm ready, poof, the more advertisements. I already do a little bit of Facebook and Instagram advertising, but I don't have the website up to make the sales. So right now,
Gotcha.
I'm just getting followers and building up more images and product.
Okay. For the
But we
ground up, thanks for tuning in.
but we definitely got you here on this platform. We're definitely going to share your page with our social media platform. So that's what we do. So you see our names pop up, and you have to know the history out of respect about.
Well, that's the thing. History is a matter of perspective. And also history is told by the victors. So I can listen to how someone put in the book how they present history, but remember now, my family did not talk to me about slavery. So
Right.
whose history are we going to talk about?
True.
So now, if I'm going to educate my son or any of my children now on the history of America, am I wrong for not teaching them about slavery? Now, remember now, that wasn't in my blood based on my knowledge. That wasn't taught to me by any of my parents or my grandparents.
That's
And
true
look,
too.
you speak of them, and look who shows up.
No, you're 110% right, because for years I didn't know about racism, and I'm being serious, until I went to college, and that's when I
I
officially seen it
Firsthand.
I
firsthand.
I
Yeah.
I officially learned it when I went out to Long Island early in my life. So that was like third grade. So like literally that time I lived out there from third grade to seventh grade was a whole new experience. The MTV years, early Michael Jackson, punk rock, big hair, hairspray, all of that. And it was different back then. I know what the city was like because we still had family and went back and forth. But I'm in a different environment and different neighborhood. Like I said, I'm never doubting with anybody anything. Yes, I'm gonna let my son know about it, but the truth is about our history. Like I said, his history is a story. Our story, my story, is something entirely different. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with knowing his story. There's a reason why it's called his story, because it's his story. I'm not even being funny. It's the
No, you're right.
etymology of words. Like I said, I do a lot of study in the definition of words, because even the word family doesn't mean what people think it means. The word brother doesn't mean what people think it means. You just got to look it up.
Right. From the ground up said, I learned about racism from our own people being racist towards each other.
That's program prejudice, if you want to be technical, because we have our differences and we all have our sex and energy. And I mean SECTS, so that's natural. We're ball players, we might not click with the swimmers. We might not click with the Rastafarians, or the Rastafarians might not click with the whoever, and that's what society is. We all have our groups, but it's about living together. It's about a level of understanding and peace. When I say peace, nothing is going to be perfect, but we can balance out a level of respect to create that peace. Meaning, I'm not going to treat you or talk to you a certain way. I'm not going to steal from you or do you wrong. So that creates a level of respect. And through that respect, we now have peace. And with that peace, we now have harmony, because now that harmony comes from respect.
Right. From the ground up said, I never knew about racism when I lived in Philly. From the ground up says, yep, program project, what? Produce. It's
Program
right.
prejudice.
Prejudice
Well,
is
and
right.
and like I said, everybody has their own journey, and I commend anyone going through it and finding any type of wisdom, light, and understanding to make their life better. For me, it's just I've gone through a lot of black and white stuff, especially being tall, because I stand out. So I'm going to get a lot of attention from my people, my culture, Asian people, white people, Hispanic people, everywhere I go in the world. I'm going to hear certain things because I'm taller than the average black man and darker than the average black man, and I speak differently than the average black man. So now you're going to talk to me differently and treat. I guess it's a lot with that. So we all experience it in some ways, but how do you evolve from that? What I've learned for me is, like, a lot of these people aren't relevant. They're going to fade away. They're going to burn out. Light a match.
Right.
That match is going to burn to a certain point, and then it will either fizzle out or burn your finger, and then you drop it, and it will still go out. I let people burn themselves out. I have a different type of fire and flame, and my fuel isn't fueled by hatred. It isn't fueled by a level of discrimination or judgment. My fire is fueled by a type of love and passion for my family or for my art. So there's more sustenance in what I'm doing. So I don't even focus on that. It's there, but what I'm focused on is so much bigger than that. I mean, yeah, it's there. I let my son know what it is little by little, but that's not his focus. His focus is to be aware. My job is to have him to be aware of things. How he chooses to perceive it is up to him. But as long as he knows it's there, I'm good.
Right. Sean says you have to know the history out of respect for our country to become
Not to be
a
funny,
citizen.
who no one knows everything. That is a true statement, but it's also a false statement. Like I said, I'm one of those people. Everything is true and everything is false. You'd have to know the history of our country, but who's telling the story? We don't know all the history of the Indians in this country, so how can you even say that? We don't know the background of every tribe. I can sit here right now and name one channel. You know what? Let's have a teaching moment. The name of the channel is called Dane Calloway. The other channel is called 432 Drop Radio. Shouts out to both of these brothers. Two specific channels that go directly into our history of melanated people, the Aboriginal people here on this continent, the Aboriginal people around the planet, the people that originated in Japan and these other places that were originally dark-skinned. So as someone is going to preach to me about the country that I live in, which I'm not denying, like I said, I love America. It put me in a place to do what I did, see the world, have these kids, and do for people that I love and care for. I have no complaints. But guess what? It was built on a lot of blood, death, hatred, violence, and a lot of other shit that I'm not proud of. So from my viewpoint, the best thing for me to do is to give my son a worldview. Because guess what? There are things bigger than where I was born in Harlem, where I lived in the Bronx, bigger than Long Island, bigger than the state of New York, and there are things bigger than the United States. And guess what? There are even things bigger than this planet, believe it or not. See, that's why I say we can only see what we're focused on. And that's why I say I understand what they're saying. I've just taken my vision and perspective a point further, because That's why I say I see it and I know it and I understand that yeah, there are roaches in the room, but guess what? I'm not even in that room no more.
Right. Right. I hear you.
Because I'm not doubting it. Like I said, I'm not saying that we shouldn't know things and we shouldn't educate ourselves. But then at what point do you begin to evolve from that education? Because that education is going to give you a certain level of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding now to help you operate now. 20 years from now, should you be in the same spot with that same level of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding?
No, you
If
shouldn't.
you feel the same way about those same prejudices as at 8 years old, should you feel that same way at 20? Should you feel that same way at 40? And by the time you're 80, should you feel the same way? Where's the evolution of your soul, spirit, and consciousness? See, like I said, that's why I say I'm not doubting or denying that this country has its history based on certain levels of either what they show us, what we don't know, or what's hidden in books. My thing is, I look for all of it. I just don't focus on the prejudice. I don't focus on the racism.
Right.
It may approach me in a type of way, but going back to power, and like the sister said, I know who the fuck I am. So regardless of who you are, you see what I'm saying? I don't. That's what I tell people. I don't care what. Like yes, he's right. I've been disrespected by black, white, family, and everybody. It doesn't matter. So what I've learned is all energy. So what energy are you coming at me with? And then we can vibe. So a lot of times I'll stand there and let you say everything you have to say just to feel your vibe. Even if I know what you're saying is irritating me, I said, let me let this motherfucker finish talking and figure this out.
Right.
I was like, oh, and sometimes I might say, you know what? I'm glad I let you finish talking because I almost says, but that for me, that switches the energy because they may not understand me because they don't know me. So they're coming at me with an energy, not to be offensive, but they just may not know how to approach black people. Maybe they're scared or intimidated because of my height. Maybe they just never seen a person. Like I said, there's so many other factors, but that's why I say there has to be an evolution in our consciousness. So I've been through the stage where I was going through the racism all the time in Pennsylvania, out there at Villanova, going through it in the off season when I worked in Jersey, going through it with the Mexicans when I lived out there in Arizona, going through it in the hotel in Russia. I have 1,000 stories with it.
Right.
But my point is, I'm not going to teach my son only about the racism here in America because guess what? He can watch that every day here in America. Because they have it on. They have it on every show. They talk about it on every news channel. They make movies about it all the time. It's everywhere. Why should I have to keep promoting this thing that they promote? I'm promoting love, strength, power, wisdom, evolution. And you know what? We're going to travel up and get off this planet. There's a lot more to see.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. If anybody have any questions, you can call us at 347-961-2793. If you have any comments, anything you want to say, give us a shout out. But yeah, man, listen.
But that's
history is history,
get back to it. But that's why I say my life is fucking awesome because you know what? When I have those people come up to me with that bad energy, and you know what, and you coming at me and you want to be a smart, like I said, and right now, just being here, and nothing, I have some awesome friends of every color, but just being here, I've gone through it. And I'll tell you, look, I really don't give a, that's what you think. And this is me. And not to be funny, if this bothers you, then you're a little bit too close to keep it moving. I said, you
right.
Like I said, you remember, you came and talked to me. You walked up to me. There was something about me that made you curious. Something attracted you to me. I have enough of my own strength and power where I can sustain my own thoughts, willpower, and energy to walk around you as if you don't exist, but something drew you to me.
Right.
So then it's my choice to not only to respond to you, but to pick and choose how I respond to you. Right. So now let's say you have some of those prejudices and some of those things going on. That's when I go back into the evolution. I can be the kid that responded in one way.
Hold on, Aunt. We got a caller. Hold on.
Okay.
Based on certain levels of evil. Hello.
Yes, thank you for calling On the Road again. Your name and where you calling from.
This is Sean.
Okay.
You have to know where you came from to know where you're going.
You got to know where you came from to know where you're going.
Exactly. You got to know
I,
your
I
history first
I
before you
hear a
can
kind
know.
of echo.
Oh yeah, she must have her TV on.
I have
She's
my TV on.
yeah. You need to
You have to
mute
know
that.
where you come. You have to know where you come from to know where you're going. If
Oh,
you
and I
don't
Okay.
know
believe I
where you're coming from, you don't know where you're gonna go. So you got to know your
and I
history.
and depending on who you're talking to, that's exactly right.
Exactly.
But that
Exactly.
that's
So
why.
I don't
But
know,
that
but everybody has their
go
opinion.
ahead.
Right.
So
No,
you're
but this is why I'm saying
contradicting yourself.
no, no. I'm not. See, no. If I'm talking about my perspective of me knowing, like I'm saying that my family is from here. This is what I was
Okay.
told. But then again, I'm reading other history about our country. So I'm not just reading what's presented in the books. There are logs in the Library of Congress. I forgot the other place, but I have PDFs here. I can send them to you right off the iPad. That will tell you that echo is messing with me. That would tell you these things that I'm not denying what they're saying about the history of racism and slavery in America. I'm just trying to say that's not where my history starts. That is a section of history that these people have promoted and are promoting. That is not the whole conglomerate of Black history on the planet of Earth. That's what I'm talking about. So if I'm going to teach my son Black history, yes, I'm going to teach him about the history of Black people and slavery in America. But guess what? There's a history of Black people in Japan. There's a history of the Black Aboriginal people in Australia. There's a history of Black people in Scotland. There's a history of Black people in Scandinavia. There's a history of Black people all over the planet, and a lot of us don't know this. So I'm just saying, know your history, yes, from where you are. You have to know where you're from to know where you're going. I know that I'm not from slavery, from some slave ship in America, so that's just not where I'm coming from in my language. So if other people, if that's where you come from and that's where you want to start your journey, then so be it. I have actually, like I said, seen this there on the shelf in my grandmother's home, who I know came from Antigua. And yes, there was a type of slave colony there when the Dutch came. That's where the Pell name came from. So I know the history of my name. I know there's a coat and seal of arms for my name. Guess why? Because I know the history of myself. I know where I came from. I know where my name came from. I know where the history of that name came from. I know what that name meant before it was applied to an actual human. So when people talk to me about, do you know your history? Someone's name may be Jones or Johnson. You can sit there and tell me, oh, that came from a white man. That came from slavery. But what about before that?
Right. Right.
See, I can sit
Well,
here and say that, yes, Pell is a slave Dutch name, but I'm going to go back to the meaning of the word Pell and how that type of tag was assigned to these people that eventually made this amount of money, that was on this boat, that eventually ended up in Antigua, that ended up here, that ended up meeting my mother's family in Georgia.
right. Wow. What a trip. There we go. Where we at? And now you know where you're going. And,
Hello.
thanks, Sean, for calling. Unless you got something else to say.
I did want to add the fact that it will serve you children who live in this country to also know that in World War II, they drafted slaves, they drafted African Americans, and they also fought in the war. Please don't omit that when you teach your children how to
Do
know
you all?
majority of
Do
those
you
people
also?
that died were
I'm
African
listening. I'm
Americans.
sorry. What you call
That,
African American, I still call Aboriginal indigenous people that were
that
here also, and also part of the slave trade is told backwards. There are catalogs and logs. I'm just saying, based on other levels of reading, I'm never going to deny what someone is saying based on their level of information. I'm just saying, please don't deny what I'm saying. I agree with you. You are
God, I
100% right. I'm just saying
large
I am right also because there is other information stating
are right,
that it was in.
not right at all. You're either
Okay.
all right or not right at all. You can't tell a half truth. If you're going to speak on something, it must be 100% right and exact.
Okay. So I wish I
I'm
could
sure.
minimize the screen and pull up, like I said, because I have information right here on my iPad. I just don't want to close the screen. Because like I said, I have no reason to lie. I'm not giving misinformation. I have actual documentation from books of these people from the 15, 16, and 1700s that talk about what they did. I have the names of these. No, this is their documentation. I'm not arguing. This is not an argument about their documentation. A white man wrote this.
I just wanted to add to it. I'm not arguing. I just felt that a large part of our history was left out of this conversation, and it would only be just out of respect for our ancestors that did for, whether they were free slaves or not, that I just think it's important for our children to know that. No, you're right. I agree with you 100% that they need to know more than about slavery, because all of us weren't slaves. We are indigenous to this world. Before the landmass split, before the flood of Noah, we migrated over here. We walked over here. We migrated over here to North America. So I do understand that. And I'm sure you understand that as well. But what I'm saying, there was a very percentage of this conversation that needed to be mentioned, which was that African Americans fought in the war, World War II, the Civil Rights War, whether they were drafted as slaves or freedmen, Freemasons. We won't go into that, but it's a large part that was left out. And you stated that you don't think it's important that we know the history.
Oh, no, I think I was misunderstood. And I kind of been getting that feeling. I'm not saying that it's not important to know that. That's not what I'm saying.
Americans, melanin people, played a large part of this of the history of the wars that took place here. That's
right.
I'm just saying I'm acknowledging everything she's saying and saying that there's more than the civil rights movement, the war, and the slavery. So once we take that and we've incorporated that into our being, like I said, I'm just saying that it's a part of our history and not making it a part of the story. That's it.
Right. It's not important to say, why do we need to know that? My kids, I don't need to know that to have my kids to take them up the street door. That was like a day.
Why would that be the most important thing that my child needs to know? That's what I'm stating now. Maybe I was misunderstood. I'm just going to keep saying that is not the most important thing that my child needs to know is slavery in America and people dying. He can know that. He can know what the school teaches him. I can still give him a perspective based on other information, but then I am still going to add to his information based on us around the world.
Let me just ask a quick question. Why do we really have to bring up 1774, 1876?
I don't. I don't because it gets into people's emotions and feelings.
Those people that died for our freedom, blood still runs through our veins.
No, I understand.
They are. It's serious. It's a part how they think. Let me just say this. You're an artist, correct?
That is very correct.
Guess where that came from? That came from your ancestors. That's their DNA. That runs right through your veins. You are able to do what you do because they come through.
But you're raising your voice to me, and I'm still saying you're right. And I had ancestors that were alive before slavery. That's all I'm.
Because as we know, melanin-like people, as we know the children of melanin, we know we never die. We only reincarnate. So to say, hey, why we need to know something way back from 17, guess what? They are here still with us, running through our veins right now through DNA and through the mitochondria DNA.
Right. And the Atlanteans and the Lemurians and the Egyptian DNA. No, excuse me. No, I listen to you. I'm not arguing.
I'm out all about you. And say, hey, I don't need to know about Grandpa. Who was he? That was a long time ago.
But this is why I'm saying we have to evolve because now someone
don't respect our ancestors. Respect our elders. We want to know why we have genocide. We want to know why we have. What's the term you called earlier? What was the phrase that you mentioned? It was a term you used referring to black people. Black.
I used a lot of terms earlier.
This is why it is because
you just have to be specific. Because this is why I say I'm not. No. See, you're judging me. I'm just trying to have a simple conversation, and we go back and forth. You're doing an energetic type of thing to me that I'm not really trying to give back to you. I'm listening to everything you're saying, but again, I'm not denying or doubting what you're saying. I'm asking you to listen to my viewpoint so we can both agree, be in harmony, and still go in our separate ways with a type of peace. So all I'm saying to you is I'm not denying what my friend Kubi is saying. I'm not denying what you're saying. I'm agreeing with both of you, but I still have a different opinion. So I'm going to say, yes, what you're saying about the DNA and everyone dying and the wars and the history is accurate. No one is denying that. I'm just saying there, in my opinion, we and I and my son would need to know more. I'm gonna make sure that based on history, because guess what? There's a level of an emotional attachment to that. But guess what? When I have expanded my consciousness to understand the broadness of melanin, so in understanding that we're that first DNA genetic cell on the planet before there was even a human body here, and then to understand more growth after that, I'm not going to sit here and say that knowing the beginning and knowing the potential, that this piece of our story is the part that I'm going to be the most emotionally attached to. First of all, in order for me to just expand and accept it more, I have to take my emotion out of it. Second of all, for me to know and understand more, I have to be broad and open to more understanding about the topic. So if I'm going to learn this in school, I have to find out also what they're not teaching me. So I have to go in the libraries now. I have to find out, okay, they say this person wrote this book. Let me look up this name and see what other books they wrote. See, there's a way to research. I'm not ever going to deny history, what's in my blood or anyone else's blood. I'm just going to say maybe there's a little bit more to it. I'm going to say maybe that thing you're emotionally attached to, maybe if there's a broader expression and understanding of that, you can have a different feeling to what you're trying to express. Because again, you're right, but I'm not wrong.
Well, thank you, caller, for calling. And it's a great topic. Maybe we need to bring this up another time. But I want to appreciate your call. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
And when you do, let me know, because I want to come back on. Because like I said, I make it a point in my life to speak truth. I have PDFs on this iPad. I have literally like I said, those 2 channels alone will give you enough information on the indigenous people and on the tribes that she's talking about, all these things before slavery and everything else. Like I said, I am never going to deny slavery. I'm just saying, me, myself, I've grown up in a time period in the 70s where I've experienced a lot of this racism and prejudice that everyone is talking about. I'm just saying, I don't connect with it like everyone else. I relate to it on a level of understanding, not only what has happened to me and affected me, but like I said, I don't want to keep being bothered by that. I've been called nigger enough. I've seen enough slave movies. I've seen enough people getting whipped. I've seen enough people out here in the street getting it. So when I talk about the power in my DNA, guess what? Instead of using the word slavery and focusing on the pain and suffering attached to the word slavery, I'm just going to focus on maybe the time period and the people in that time period that had the power. So if I'm going to talk about the strength of my ancestors, guess what? Let's just remove the word slavery, because there's going to be an emotional attachment to it. And let's talk about the other things that were going on around them that empowered us. So what else was going on? So let's talk about the strength of the family. Let's talk about, even though that they were doing things to try and break us up, what the woman was doing to try and sustain us was freaking miraculous. What the man had to endure, be it in the house or in the field, to try and even keep the family together and everything else, was miraculous. So I'm going to talk about that level of strength that's going to keep you going in one type of way. Because guess what? Those people came from somewhere now. So let's go to that story. So they either came from the Aboriginal indigenous colonies that were here, or they were brought from other places. Because based on history, the Caucasian only came from a certain place. And then they expanded from there. When they expanded, they found us. It was a new world to them.
We're gonna bring this up. We're gonna bring this up, man.
Yeah,
You ready? You ready, boy? You listen. You got to get that screen behind you and start doing the pointing and all that. I'm telling you, yo, for real.
I'm just thankful for not just the people and the journey, but like I said, people don't. It's the pain and suffering leads you to the light also. So like I said, So even me talking about slavery led me into looking into other things that had nothing to do with slavery. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at some point,
Oh, we got another caller.
I hear. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
There's a way to do so.
Hello, this is what calling on the road again. Who's the caller?
Estağfurullah.
I'm just gonna say
Estağfurullah.
Estafurlah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's Arabic. That's
Okay, I'm not Arabic, so I wouldn't know what she
That's
was saying.
Arabic.
Sorry.
They quoting from the.
Okay, all right. Thanks. Thank you, caller. Appreciate it.
and I
Amen.
have to say this. I have to say this. I have to put out a disclaimer. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to.
No, we know that. We just have a
You know,
conversation.
Yeah,
What's
man.
wrong
I
with
just
having
say
a conversation and the fit and the way you feel and the way the caller feel and the way I feel? This is
I'm just
why
saying
this is why people
Maybe-
can't get along because
she just-
one way is not everybody's way. I'm just me personally. I don't
Yeah.
feel that I don't really have to talk about 1980s, 1970s.
It all
and all.
started with you and your questions from the immigration.
No, I understand people.
That's what it
But
started.
why are you getting
Because you
upset
didn't-
about the immigration?
No, you told me
No,
to ask
I'm
it was
just
me
saying
because
that-
the
citizen.
immigration. No one. I don't know the answer. Who fought in the World Wars?
But
I don't remember.
I think it was me because when I started talking about, and that's why I say it's my fault.
No,
because
no.
I,
This
no,
is
because
the platform.
I feel strongly about what
Your
what,
beliefs.
in my opinion, because we all have our opinions about
Exactly.
us wanting the best for our people.
Right.
You know, so
And I
for
think
me,
that's
it was
the
just like,
I think that's the common
Yeah.
denominator
And-
of the
and so-
whole conversation tonight is
For sure.
we want to educate our people and let's not forget those before us. And that's the final word.
and
There
guess
you
what?
go.
There were people before them too.
There you go. Yo, and I want to thank you for being on the road again. And when we bring up this historical questions and answers, we will, because it's a debate, And like I said, I don't think we need to really talk about what happened back in Martin Luther King because it's not going to help us now.
And
He helped us now to be able to talk, to be able to
And that's-
do what we do
and,
now.
and that's what
But
I mean.
Why would we talk about it back? What happened
But
back then?
we still got a long fight ahead of us.
We
man.
got a whole lot
Yeah,
of
we got
fighting.
a whole lot of fighting.
Yo.
I mean,
And that's kind of what I mean. There had to be steps to be taken place for us to be sitting here now.
That's all.
He was one of those steps.
Steps, exactly.
Slavery was one of those steps. There
Right.
were steps before that, and there are going to be steps after that. That's
And
all I'm saying.
my step to tell my son is watch out for the hustlers and the drug dealers on the corner. So we ain't gonna talk about Martin Luther King. I gotta tell him about what not to do around the neighborhood. I got a whole lot more to tell him, but you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about today's
talking
life.
about life in America today.
Now.
That's
Right.
That's what you're going to focus on.
Yeah.
All right. So bottom line is this: the hell with them questions. Move on. Man.
Let's go.
I'm
Yo,
not doing-
and
I'm not
like I
doing
said,
this.
man, everybody,
Thank you,
thank you for
our
everybody
listeners,
for
our
saying-
callers, our subscribers, prescribers. Hey, listen.
Get it
Without
right,
you, without them, it's no us. Let's make it happen. Keep on doing what you do, and let's have these talks. This is the platform for it. Everybody's entitled to theirs, and theirs only. Let's have a great night. God bless.
And thank you guys for having me on tonight.
yes, sir, and we definitely gonna have you back, man.
I want to be more prepared if I get another
you-
caller like that.
Oh yeah, you already know. We'll make sure you.
And they
I like the back.
and they
I
will
like-
call back. I know they will call back.
And
I
we're
wasn't
gonna
pre-
definitely
I-
stay in touch about this pop-up art event. So yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
please. And
Definitely.
like I said, because I can get the time off, so whenever necessary, I can come back to the city so we can do what we got to do. You just have to let me know so I can plan ahead.
Got you, brother. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to On the Road again. Everybody that logged in and all that, be subscribers, send your word out. Love y'all. Good night.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right.
Nice meeting you, bro.
All right, nice meeting you too.